Hello and welcome to Quays News. This is your 1:30 bulletin. Here are our top stories today. In the past couple of hours, Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag has been sacked by the club. Let's go across to Old Trafford, where our reporter Max Hayes has more.
Yeah, good afternoon, James. Live outside Old Trafford, and the big breaking news of Erik ten Hag being sacked as Manchester United manager. Of course, it comes after that 2-1 defeat to West Ham at the weekend. It's one win in 8 games for Erik ten Hag before he gets sacked. And of course, Manchester United sitting 14th in the Premier League, 7 points off those Champions League qualification places. Let's look at the club statement then that Manchester United did release, and it read as follows. We are grateful to Erik for everything he has done during his time with us, and we wish him well for the future. Ruud van Nistelrooy will take charge of the team as interim head coach, supported by the current coaching team, whilst a permanent head coach is recruited. And of course, Ruud van Nistelrooy only joining the club during the summer, during Erik ten Hag's almost restructure of the coaching staff and Ineos's new approach to their ownership and times at Man United. We are joined by James Young live outside Old Trafford for some live reaction. James, you cover United week in, week out. You're a journalist, you focus a lot on the fanzines and hear what the fans have got to say. Has this been writing on the wall, do you think, for Erik ten Hag?
Yeah, I mean, he won the cup final. Even last season, Manchester United finished 8th, their lowest ever in the Premier League. The cup final bought him a bit of more time with the fans, but this season they've won 3 games. I mean, it's just not good enough, and the result on the weekend, it's summed up really everything that's wrong with United. The players aren't cohesive, they're making too many mistakes, and it's on him because most of that squad are his players.
Who's next for Man United? You know, it's been a pretty woeful start to the season, hasn't it? Gareth Southgate's been tipped, but who do you think should, take the hot seat?
Well, I think we'll see what Ruud van Nistelrooy does in the next few games, and if he does well, he might get that until the end of the season, but there's not that many options available at the minute. So Southgate's an option, but he's going to have to do a lot to win the fans over because his possession play doesn't really suit the style of football that United are known for at all.
Do you think this is down just to Erik ten Hag, or do you think the players have got things to answer for?
Partly, but he's signed most of the players. I mean, if you look at how many players, especially that are Dutch or from the Eredivisie, that he's signed, it's on him, especially players like Xerxes, who, again, put in a really poor performance on Sunday. And there's other players like Anthony that United have spent on £80-90 million on. He's signed him. He's got to take responsibility for this.
James, thank you very much for the time being. James Young there speaking to us. We'll have more reaction later on in the main programme. But as the sun tries to creep through the clouds on a pretty woeful start to the season for Manchester United, maybe a glimmer of hope as Erik ten Hag is sacked as manager today.
That's all from Max Hayes at Old Trafford. We'll have more on the sacking of Erik ten Hag in our main programme at 4:30. People living and working around Salford's media city say there's not enough free or affordable car parking. Locals say they're struggling to find parking spaces near their homes. With more residential units being built on public land, people living nearby fear they'll be forced to pay high prices in private car parks. Meanwhile, the BBC's move to Salford has contributed to traffic problems around the city. According to a new report, the IZA Institute of Economics have released reports of the BBC's move to Media City. Around 4,000 jobs have been created in Salford. The report highlighted that there is only one route in and out for traffic at Media City.
A lot of traffic today.
Yeah. And what do you think of getting into Media City? There's only really one entrance. Is it quite difficult to navigate?
It's easy to find and get in and out, but you can be sat queuing for a while.
With Breast Cancer Awareness Month ending, there's a reminder for women to attend a mammogram if they're offered one. There are more than 3,000 new cases of breast cancer every year in Greater Manchester. Women over 50 should be invited automatically, but the NHS says anyone can contact their GP or local breast cancer screening service. Monsters have been popping up all over Manchester this week as the UK's biggest Halloween festival returned this weekend for its 8th year. Manchester Arndale and Market Streets held a monstrous rock party procession from the team at Walk the Plank, which included monster puppets and a 5-piece band. That's all you've had time for today. Thank you for watching the Quays News Bulletin. Make sure to tune in for our main show at 4:30 today for more.